What's going on, guys? It is TSJ. Welcome back to another channel update video. This is going to be the Total War Troy gameplay reveal, kind of analysis, if you will. I mean, I'm not the best at analysis. I'm good at analyzing historical stuff, like, textbooks, stuff like that, because, I'm a history major. But video games, I'm not the best at, but they are fun to do, especially Total War Troy, because it's got some juicy stuff going on with it right now with the whole Epic Games and whatnot. So this is really the first time Creative Assembly is releasing some gameplay footage for us. So we're just going to kind of go through it. I'll pause every now and then. We'll talk about it. Let me know in the comments, as always, what you think of this gameplay. And if you do enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment down below. So let's get to it.
Hello, and welcome to the first look at Total War Saga Troy.
So first thing I want to quickly look at, I'm sure this is this is clearly very in alpha, at least it should, probably is, the development is still in progress. But I'm hoping that the map is bigger than this. I'm really sure that, of course, that brown in the background that's covering, or that tan, sand-looking material that's covering the rest of the map is probably just like the fog of war, so I'm sure that you can go a lot further around. At least I hope you can. I hope the map's a lot bigger than what we're looking at. I'm sure it is. Again, this is probably just quick gameplay reveal, nothing like, nothing too like spoilery, I guess. They did have that campaign map reveal earlier, several months ago, so of course I'm pretty sure that showed a lot more, but still, hoping it, a lot bigger than this.
We're going to be playing through a battle between two of the greatest warriors of the Bronze Age, the furthest back any Total War game has ever gone. Now, of course, the period is full of myth and legend, but...
So what do you guys think of the campaign map gameplay, actually, as it is right here? Very reminiscent of Three Kingdoms for sure. Looks a lot more, I don't want to say crisp than Rome 2 or Attila. It aligns more honestly with like Warhammer and 1 and 2. I think so. But that's just me. Do you guys like this so far? It doesn't look like the cities are going to be able to be like expand like they could in Rome 2 and Attila. It looks like they're just kind of just those icon castles on the map, but we'll see.
Today we will witness this battle play out and write our own history. We are playing as Achilles, the mightiest warrior of the Iliad, but hot-tempered and unpredictable. His army has sailed over to the great city of Troy to steal its riches, with only Hector standing in our way.
So, I guess that was Troy, that it just showed a second ago. Let's see.
To the great city.
Yeah, right there. I guess it looks pretty good. Kind of spoilery. It would have been really cool to see Troy have, like, again, I don't know if the actual in-game cities will be upgradable. I kind of hope that they can be. It'd be really nice to be able to have them, like, those walls to get way bigger. But I don't know. I guess it looks pretty cool so far. It looks like there is another, like right here, there's a second defense, or maybe even third defense right here for the walls. So just in case these first walls are breached, then it looks like there's another line you can kind of maybe put men on the walls for, but we'll see.
Of Troy to steal its riches, with only Hector standing in our way.
So I saw a couple people talking about this earlier. The unit variety, not very much. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Are you cool with how the units look? They look cool, but in terms of unit variety, that hasn't always been CA's best attribute, in terms of making all the units look a little different.
The champion of Troy, Hector, sees an opportunity to take down the enemy at the city and end Achilles' hunt for glory. Seeing that he outnumbers our forces, he has marched out to fight with an army of elite soldiers. We might not be as heavily armored as Hector, but we can use our mobility and guerrilla tactics to finish Hector and take Troy for us.
See, I like these units right here because some of them, even though this is really minuscule, some of them don't have helmets. Others, the material, the fabric, I don't know what it is, guys. The fabric material on top of their helmets is different. That really does change just the visualization of units, I personally feel. Even the smallest detail, something like that, it just would make it look... I mean, even some of them have like long sleeves, some of them don't. I just think that stuff's kind of cool.
Selves. The new battle features added to Troy will make this possible.
Not enough Brad Pitt, might I add.
The battlefields of ancient Greece were predominantly infantry focused. War horses on the battlefield were...
Okay, so here we go. We have a look of this like UI, and I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna add more by the time of release. The map, most notably, is down in the lower right now. It used to be at the top for most Total Wars, so that's cool. I guess, make that addition. Put most of the stuff at the bottom, and then that menu is also where the map used to be, but that menu also used to be over the top left as well. So it looks like things look very, very similar to Three Kingdoms. If you look at the unit cards, you've got your regular spears, some javelins. Just those icons look very similar, very reminiscent to Three Kingdoms.
Scarce, and mainly reserved for chariots. We've designed greater distinction between the infantry classes in order to promote greater dynamic interplay. Infantry have 3 weight classes: light, medium, and heavy. And the differences between them are accentuated from previous Total War titles. We have that full range at our disposal, forming up the anvil we want to hammer Hector's forces against. Greater mass means collisions are more impactful, whereas speed gives flanking a more prominent role to play. Our heavy unit also benefits from having alternate weapon modes. At the press of a button, our renowned Theans...
See, that is cool. That I don't have a problem with at all. I think that's just kind of cool that just the features that they allow you to do that I think that's really neat. I mean, I know that in other Total Wars, it'd be really cool if, like in Attila or Rome 2, or really any of them, hey, put your swords away, just fight with two-hand swords or something like that. I don't know, it's just kind of cool that you can do that with a unit. I hope that they keep this feature for future Total Wars.
Spears can put away their shields and become a much more offensive unit. We will try to use this to our advantage once the battle is underway. One of the advantages of light units is their ability to hide within long grass, a new terrain type within Troy. Long grass enables light units to remain hidden from view, enabling you, the player, to use the map in a greater tactical way than ever. We have chosen to hide our Aeginian javelinmen so that they can use their speed plus armor-piercing javelins to flank and destroy some of Hector's greatest warriors. On our right flank, we have our Aeginian runners, trained by Achilles himself, also making use of that long grass.
I can't tell, really can't tell. I'm just going to assume the battle maps look kind of big. I mean, they look a little bit bigger than usual than the Warhammer series. I think. I'm not going to assume, but I think so. I also kind of like how the shields have icons on them. Don't know if that's historically accurate at all, but I like how they have symbols on them. I think that's pretty neat.
They should be especially effective with their special missile weapon available to them. On our left flank, we are going to use our heavy chariots available to us and herd Hector into our trap. Let's get this battle underway. Heavy chariots are slow, but tough, and can wreak.
Notice how there's no dust kicking up? At least I don't think there is any. Now, that tall grass might be moving with the chariots, which would be cool, but I don't see any dust, which again, still developing. Probably will be a feature later on, but just something to note.
Havoc in the enemy lines, with their devastating charge punching through all but the toughest and heaviest units. We can see Hector and his troops approaching. Let's take a closer look. They are currently walking through another new terrain type, mud. Mud severely impedes the movement speed of heavier units, who get stuck under the sheer weight of...
So that's pretty cool how they added mud in there. Again, I hope it's a feature they continue on. It would be kind of cool, which again, just a minuscule detail, if you actually saw some troops like actually like high kneesing it out of the mud. I don't know, kind of cool. It'd be a nice little tidbit there.
Of their colossal armors, whereas lighter units can freely move through it with little penalty to their speed. If we had more ranged units in our army, we could utilize this, but today we will have to employ different tactics.
Oh boy.
Hector doesn't just have these heavily armored Troy guards at his disposal. He also has a Minotaur, a powerful mythical unit in Troy, which can be used to...
Okay, so this is something that a lot of people were wondering about, and I think based off of the game reveal trailer last year, I think a lot of people assumed that, this was going to be in the game. I feel like there's going to be a lot of mixed responses on this. I think most people probably won't care. They'll think it's a cool feature. It's just a video game, so they can kind of put in whatever they want. And since Troy is very... you have to take it with a grain of salt, the story of Troy and the Iliad and whatnot. I mean, if they're trying to set a standard as in they're trying to like appeal to both fantasy and historical titles in one game, I think if this is as far as they want to take it to a Saga point, to like a Saga game, I think that's okay. But if they're going to announce I don't think they would do this. It'd be like business suicide if they did this. But if they announced their next huge historical title would be like the Victorian era, and they allowed you to have witches or something like that, crazy something, I don't know, that of course that wouldn't happen. But I understand why they're at least putting Minotaurs in there, or Minotaurs as he said. I thought it was Minotaurs, but because again they're mentioned. Obviously they weren't a thing, but still, I hope that they just keep it to this far back, these very, very stretched historical texts, so that their next big historical title, they don't do anything like this again,
To cause massive disarray to enemy troops with his towering height and incredible strength. We think of our Minotaur as a rebel or bandit king who invokes the symbols of the past to stake a claim for power. His army is getting close, leading his archers at the front to loose arrows onto our strongest units. Enter stage 1 of our ambush. We are going to use the Thessalian Marines to cause disarray on their front line, using the move whilst hidden trait.
The foe has sighted your hidden units.
This enables us to get close to their archers and push them to the rear of Hector's formation, leaving them exposed for a flank. On our retreat, we will take some arrow fire, but this will keep our strongest units at full strength. Our heavy chariots have wrapped around and punched through to completely wipe out the lightweight archer unit. Our right flank...
Seems like the cavalry charges in this game are going to be just about as strong as in Three Kingdoms, and which are ridiculously strong. And in Warhammer, it looks like, which I'm fine with. I always liked the Total War games where they didn't debuff cavalry, just because cavalry is meant to be really strong, Also notice that there was no blood there, no blood or gore, which, I'm assuming they're going to have it in here eventually. They usually release it a month or a couple months after the release, but hopefully they add that in there. It'd be really nice if they added in the DLC for free, but wishful thinking.
Is managing to prevent any attacks our enemy Hector had planned, with the light swordsmen holding them in place, and our Aeginian runners using their aforementioned missile weapon to provide range support. Hector's forces are now attacking our front line, including the mighty Minotaur.
Your hero is under attack.
Achilles has engaged with their unit. Let's put away the shields of our Thean spears and engage on the offensive. Our units are not as strong as Hector's, so they will not hold.
It looks like, again, a lot of the skills, like he's talked about, you can put the shields away, are once again down below the unit cards. Just something else that it's always been like that, so hopefully they keep it that way. And also looking at the I forget which one this is. This might be Hector, right here on the bottom, right over here on the bottom left. So it looks like he also is going to have some abilities as well, which again is cool. It's always nice when your generals have certain abilities, so wonder what those are going to be.
Forever here. We have our javelin men still hiding in the long grass. Let's move them into the perfect flanking position before our forces flee. We can see these guards of Troy are making mincemeat of our medium-weight swordsmen. They have only lost around 20 men compared to our almost half. Now let's see what happens with a bit of backstabbing. With their backs exposed, these tanky units stand no chance, and we can see their unit numbers dwindle. Troy battles can be won and lost in the skirmish. In Troy, some heroes can issue divine challenges on each other. This will issue a challenge on the enemy hero, which will force them into combat with one another. We've decided to draw Hector into combat and end this battle the honourable way.
So it looks like this whole dueling is going to be a thing forever now, pretty much, I'm going to assume, because it was introduced in 3 Kingdoms. So, I mean, I'm honestly okay with that. I don't mind the whole dueling aspect of the games. I don't know. I think it's cool. I guess it's fine. It would be, again, cool if they see, I don't know. I'm all about realism. I think realism is cool. So like just a second ago, one of them just like stabbed the other one in the stomach, or at least it looked like he did. It would be cool to see them get all, I don't know. But again, I forget that there's no blood and gore in this yet. So still, they're like lasting a pretty long time against each other. But again, I guess they're great warriors, so. Alright, well that was pretty neat. What'd you guys think of that trailer down below? Do you like me doing these analysis videos? Let me know down in the comments. Are you excited for the game? They definitely didn't show us, a whole lot. They showed us something, a little segment of what the game's going to be. Some new features, those are pretty cool. Like how you can put your shields away. That one's really one of the coolest ones, I think. But yeah, this is a good start, I think. So let me know what you think of this episode down in the comments below, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay super, and I'll see you guys next time.